Good morning. So, our friends over at FASS was nice enough to donate us a fuel pump setup here for our new Cummins T680 with the Cummins X15 motor. Yeah, they want me to do a video on this. A lot of you guys have asked me if I was going to get a FASS system. I just reached out to them and told them I was interested, and they sent us over a kit for free here. It came with the heater as well. I asked them about the heater option since we run in the cold weather. This is a different option. When you get your fuel pump, you have to buy, if you want the heater option. I don't know the prices on all this. Honestly, I just opened up the boxes. I didn't want to take any of this out because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to stick it all back in for the video. But this is exactly how it comes. So we'll get this opened up. So this is obviously the wiring harness for the fuel pump. We've got some connectors here. Fuel pump itself with the fuel filters. This is the let's see what part number they sent me. They asked me what motor we had. This is the IND 165G. So we're going to be putting this thing on today. I think I have to take this fuel filter housing off. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with all of these different lines. Find somewhere to mount this thing on the frame. Now that I got this box open, I can flip through these instructions real fast, and we'll get this thing knocked out. So it looks like it doesn't include any instructions in the box itself, but it does come this piece of paper telling you find the manual online. So we're going to go to their website here. We have the titanium signature series. Oh, and then it lists all the different trucks. You guys probably can't see because it's so sunny outside. Alright, let's get this figured out. Maybe I'll go print this off inside the house. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is figure out a way we can get the wiring harnesses through the firewall. Kenworth put these nice little rubber plugs on the firewall here that you can just pick and choose whatever hole that you want. Pop one of these plugs out, and then it reveals a hole, because to the just inside of this is where our fuse panel is, where we'll have to wire these things in. So I've already got a rubber plug picked out and popped out. Now we need to find a good spot in here that will be a key on, key off power supply. And we'll get these wires ran in. Alright, I found, if you have a T680, a P8, it's an open port. But if you stick your test light in here, there it is, power on. This is that red wire that we had to pass through the firewall with the grommet. And then it comes with the supplied You can use a spot that has a fuse already because it comes with this here. So since we found that P8 is going to work for us, I'm going to plug that into P8. And then we'll connect the red wire that we passed through the firewall into this. And it looks like with our heater, we're going to have to go through the same thing with that. So what I may do is just plug that one directly in to the same port, and then we'll label both of them. All right, we're getting ready to take off our old fuel water separator. If your fuel lines look like this right here, very simple to take these off. You can just spin these around. And these are just plastic collars. So you can spin it around to where you can see it, and you just separate these here. And then this fuel line will just pull out. All right. The old fuel water separator has been removed. They send you this bracket to mount this thing to. I'm hoping I can try to use these holes so I don't have to drill more holes, because my drill bits aren't the best. But I think this will be a perfect spot for this, obviously. This is the fuel filter restriction. I've got one of those gauges in the truck that basically shows you when your fuel filters need to be replaced, because it reads off of a sensor that's connected to here and lets you know if there's too much restriction going through the fuel filter. I'm going to try to reuse that on this. I don't know if it's going to work, but we will try. And then we'll have to figure out something with all these fuel lines. Well, we weren't able to use the holes that were already in the frame. I ended up drilling 4 new holes. This thing comes with a rubber back plating to go between this bracket and the frame. Just make sure you don't forget to put that on there. But I've got it just, this thing's adjustable up and down too, so you don't have to be like exact with your holes. Alright, so now we have to figure out what to do with these fuel lines. Something tells me we are going to be probably just pulling a lot of these off. Let's see, that goes down into the block. So both wiring harnesses for the fuel pump and the heater for the fuel pump almost look identical, other than the power leads that run to the battery from the heater are a little bit shorter, and the fuel pump itself has the fuse up here, and the fuse for the heater is closer to the pigtails. I don't like it closer to the pigtails. It made running the wire a whole lot harder. And now if I have a popped fuse on the heater, for whatever reason, I'm gonna have to, with the Kenworth, there's 6 bolts that you have to take out to get to the battery part. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. I wish they would have put that fuse up where they put the other fuse. But, so we've ran it underneath the truck. And then Kenworth has this hole in the back of the battery box. So this is where we're going to be running these. And then we're going to go ahead and connect it to the batteries, probably on this right-hand side, since this left-hand side is kind of filled up with stuff. Also, I accidentally popped one of these fuses when I was putting my new inverter in. I let my wrench touch both sides of our new inverter. Kind of dumb how it's set up. So I popped that fuse, which is a 250 amp. I was able to go down to one of the truck places there. It's only $6. So we got these hooked up now. Also, FASS does not provide the heat shrink tubing. I buy these kits off of Amazon fairly cheap. I've got tons of these boxes. It's got a pretty decent assortment of different size heat shrinking. I mean, you can see I've used most of these sizes, whatever sizes those were. Those are ran. We got some zip ties on there. I really hate this fuse is in here, but I mean, all my other fuses are in here. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Also, I don't know if you guys caught it, but we have our old oil separator on here. These lines aren't, I don't have the right stuff to hook the fuel pump up right now. So basically, we've contacted the company. They have a kit to hook up to these PACCAR lines, but it's kind of worded funny. So I've emailed them trying to figure out. The fuel line kit that they have listed on their website states that the fuel line kit is for a PACCAR without this fuel water separator. Now, does that mean I have to take this off? Which I mean, we're going to do that anyways. Or is it if the truck never came with one of these? So we're kind of waiting to hear back from that. I'm just out here running some wires, trying to finish this all up. We're going to get this relay mounted. So we'll have to wait to hear back from these fuel lines. All right, good morning. It's future me. That video was shot back at Thanksgiving, and just between us going on the road and me emailing and calling the company, trying to figure out what part we needed for the truck. Honestly, I never did get an answer back from the company. I just ended up ordering these parts on my own after waiting many months. Yeah, so that was shot back in Thanksgiving. This is, I don't even want to tell you guys. I'll just say we finished up the FASS fuel system at the same time we put the fenders on the truck. I forgot to mention I accidentally deleted the footage of finishing this fuel pump up. So I can include the part number. But basically it comes with this fitting, and there's a fitting that just basically allows the line to bypass itself right here. It just clips into this little aluminum tube and just runs the fuel straight to that. So we ended up finishing up the wiring harness, obviously in the video that you've seen. I just took and zip tied it all up because I still wasn't sure if this was where everything was going to be. And then there's a return fuel line that comes out of here, and then I just brought it up to here on the fuel filter housing. There was another one of these fittings like this right here, and there's arrows on here that show you which way the direction of the fuel pressure would go. Like this arrow right here is pointing to us, which would mean fuel pressure would be blowing out of this. And this one has an arrow pointing in, which means it'll take fuel pressure going in. So we just tapped that, ran that hose up there like that, and that's that. And don't mind the truck because we just got home from a trip. So there it is. I don't know that I've actually noticed any performance or fuel mileage distance, as we haven't really driven the truck really enough. It does seem like it's like the motor's not as rattly now, but that could also be in my head. But yeah, that's the install to the fast fuel system. Thanks for watching.